The best thing you can do for your body is get a strong core, because at some point everything runs through the core. Whether you have low back pain, hip pain, or you're looking to get better posture, we're gonna do some exercises here that are fully body weight, plus the last one can be done with a kettlebell, and I will tell you, or dumbbell, and I'll tell you how to do that as well. But you can do these at home. I'm gonna do the first set with you. I'm gonna put 45 seconds on a timer, but I recommend doing everything about 20 to 25 reps. You can also set a timer yourself if that makes it easy for you. We're gonna start with what I call laying flat crunches or lazy crunches. These ones, you're gonna lay down on the ground flat. Hands are gonna go behind your head. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tuck my tailbone under so my back is perfectly flat. Right now my core is already engaged. I'm already doing a core workout. And I'm gonna make sure that the belly button stays down as I go. This is not only gonna help keep tension out of the low back, but it's also gonna make sure I'm focused on those lower abs the entire time. And we're gonna start. And by doing these flat, you're gonna be focusing a lot more on the upper abs, keeping a little bit of the lower abs out of it. Whole time that I'm doing this, I'm thinking shoulders staying towards my hips and rolling one vertebrae at a time to the ceiling. While you lift, the lower the shoulders get back to the ground, the more the belly button's going to want to lift up. Just focus on keeping the belly button pressed into the floor. Got about 10 more seconds. Breathing as you go. Try not to crank the head as you lift. Some of these exercises are going to be familiar, some of them are going to be brand new. This second one I like to call 5-point crunches. First one, you're going to do laying on your side, and 5-point because they're going to be similar exercise, but doing it in 5 different directions. When I have my feet, hips, and shoulders roughly in line, I'm going to scoot my chest out and then drop down. So now my sternum is roughly in line with my hips. Hands are going to go behind the head, or you can put them right here, whatever is best for you. And you're going to lift, trying to lift straight up to the ceiling as you're here, thinking keep the knee down as you're lifting up. That's just going to make sure that you're not doing this as you go. So I'm keeping my knee down and trying to keep as rotated as possible, almost like I'm trying to bring my shoulder that's behind me up to the ceiling as I lift, making sure I keep that rotation in there. This is gonna hit the obliques and the transverse abdominis. About 15 more seconds. Again, if you're counting, about 20 to 25. In this one, if you do 20, that'd be okay, because again, we're gonna be doing 5 different moves back to back. Pausing here, foot is gonna plant from the top leg. You're gonna shift the hips just a touch, and you're gonna do something very similar. You're gonna lift up. This time the one leg stays down, other leg stays facing up towards the ceiling, and then you're gonna start lifting up towards the ceiling. You're gonna feel this burn. Breathing as you go. Try not to crank your head as you lift, more about getting the shoulders up. If your hands are here, you're just gonna feel more of the neck muscles working as well, which is also very important. Breathing freely, trying to get the ribs to go down to the pelvis as tight as you can. I just realized when I turn to the other side, I won't be able to see my timer. Got about 10 more seconds. Keeping that knee as straight up in the ceiling as you can. And done. This time, regular crunch. Both knees up to the ceiling. Thinking tuck the tailbone under so the belly button is flat onto the floor, or I should say flat towards the floor. Back is flat. Hands behind the head or crossing the chest, whichever one you like. And we're gonna start. Now as you do these again, trying to keep the feet planted. Sometimes when we crunch, it's gonna be tempting to do this or let the feet slide all over the place, but try to keep them in one position where you start. Breathing as you go. And it's always good every now and again to just remember why we're doing these things. Not only to strengthen the abs, but what is your goal? When you're thinking about doing fitness, why are you getting in shape? Why are you getting healthier? Is it because you want to strengthen your posture? Is it because you want to play with your kids? Is it because you want to look good? Is it because the doctor said you have to? A few more seconds. And done. That's something I think that's important to think about before you're working out and throughout your day too. Making sure, again, on this side, you're dropping the opposite leg now. So we're going to do those last two on the opposite side. The top leg should be facing straight up. Bottom leg should be flat on the ground. Hands are going to go behind the head again. Make sure the belly button stays towards that floor. And start. Now, I don't always listen to David Goggins anymore. Not for any reason other than I just haven't in a while. But one thing that he talks about is his cookie jar. He thinks about the wins that he had before he starts working out. And he kind of develops a mental cookie jar of everything that he's accomplished. So when things start to get hard, he thinks, oh right, I've done that before, so I can do this. I forget when we started. We'll go on for a few more seconds. Just trying to keep that one top leg stable, bottom leg planted. Go on for another 10. Again, 20 to 25 reps in each direction. And done. We're going to drop the hip to the other side now. So this is the one again. Feet, hips, shoulders in line. Drop the chest forward towards your knees and then lay out flat. So now your sternum is in line with your hips and your feet. And start. And as you do this, trying to think, keep that top knee pressed into the bottom knee. It's going to make sure that the abs are working and you're keeping the hip muscles out of it as best as you can. Now, it's not about how high you can go, it's about how well can you contract. So as I'm lifting, I'm trying to make sure I'm not pulling my head, and I'm focusing more on getting my ribs down to my pelvis. Got about 15 seconds more. Again, hitting the obliques and transverse abdominis on the right side this time, or whatever side you're on. Having a strong core is a good way of keeping the back injury-free. Ooh. And also, if you fall, trip, or anything like that, it'll help you keep from getting injured, because oftentimes it's the core that's going to do the work when you're catching yourself from falling. We're going to be doing Superman's next. So for this one, oh, I should mention this is a general core workout. So we'll have a couple that are going to be on our stomach. This one's going to be one on our stomach. We're going to lay flat onto the ground. You're going to lift your shoulders and your feet off of the ground, just like Superman flying. If you're returning from another video of mine, thank you for joining again. If you're new, my name is Michael. I've been a coach for a decade, and these videos on this channel are going to be everything from follow-along videos like what you're watching now, whether it be for working out, like exercises, or mobility or stretching. And we'll also go into more like lecture style or critique kind of videos, all the way to making sure we understand the mental aspect or the correlation between mental and physical as well. On to the next exercise. So for this exercise, you're going to be laying on your stomach and you're going to lift your feet, knees, and shoulders off of the ground. I'm not going to talk too much during this one, mostly because, well, I'm going to be face down and you probably won't be able to hear me. I'm going to do the one where my hands go back behind me. You can also do it with your arms stretched out. I'll show you a variation of both. You're going to lay down. Think tuck the tailbone under as you lift the shoulders and feet off of the ground just like this. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking shoulders towards my hips. So I'm locking my lats in place, and I'm thinking tuck the tailbone under. So my pelvis, I'm pressing it into the floor as I lift those legs. That's gonna not only help me engage the glutes even more, but it's also gonna make sure I don't bring too much low back tension into this exercise. I totally forget what time it was when I started, so we're gonna go for another 25 seconds-ish, maybe 30. But as I'm holding up, I'm keeping up as high as I can, because oftentimes in this, I realized I said I wasn't gonna be talking, but here I am. I guess that shows I can't not talk. Anyway, You can also do this with your arms out to the side, but again, make sure your shoulders are going towards the hips. You can do it with your arms above your head as well, like this. Don't crane your neck like I am right now. Your head should be here. Sort of neutral with everything else. And done. Next one, we're gonna do our leg lifts. There are two different variations of these that you can, there are many variations. I'm gonna show you two of them. You can do it one at a time, or you can do both legs at a time. The one with both legs at a time is gonna be much more challenging. So start with showing you the one that's both legs or one leg at a time. You're gonna have your hands by your knees roughly, and you're just gonna lift the leg up into the air, just like this. Now this is gonna get more hip flexor because the band of our core is everything from our hip flexors up to basically right below the pecs and our abs, and the lower back muscles as well, along with some parts of the glutes. It's everything that stabilizes us as we move. Yeah, again, you do this both legs. I'm gonna go one leg at a time for the sake of this video. Got about 15 seconds more. The further out you reach, the harder it is. The further up you are, the easier it is. If you're just starting out, hands behind your back, it's still gonna work the same muscles. Just make sure you're sitting up tall. Try not to sink down like this, because then you're bringing shoulder irritation in that we don't need. And then other leg. So again, sitting up tall, chest up. Then you push my arms, shoulders down into the floor, lifting that leg up as high as I can. Whether your toes are pointed or flexed, doesn't matter. I almost went into gymnast mode and started pointing my toes because that's where I used to do these all the time. But again, closer your hands are to your knees or your feet out here, harder it is. You can always also do this in a straddle position, but for the sake of this video, we'll just focus on this one here. If you're doing the both legs, looks like this. This one's really gonna get those lower abs along with those hip flexors. You'll feel it more in the lower abs when you do the legs together, but still, one leg at a time, you're hitting those lower abs as well. On to the next exercise, which this one is going to be plank side taps. So this is the one that can be done with the kettlebell. With the kettlebell, this is one of my favorite ab exercises. So we're gonna do a body weight, but the setup for this, if you have a kettlebell, you're gonna have the kettlebell out to the side and you're gonna drag it, but go through the same motions that we're doing on our hands. This one, if you're counting it, I would go 8 to 12-ish on each arm, so it'll work out to about 20, 25 altogether. So go up tall into the plank, wider the feet, the easier it is, closer the harder, and you're gonna reach to the side, just like that. And as I'm reaching, I'm thinking whatever hand stays down on the ground, that foot is pressing into the floor. That way I can keep my hips as level as possible. Otherwise, usually this will start to happen, or this. So pushing, if I'm keeping my left hand down, I'm pushing it with my right foot. If you're doing this with the kettlebell, you just drag. Reach and drag. This is working the lower abs, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis. It's also getting the shoulders. And by doing this with rotating and using gravity in this direction, is one of the best ones to actually tone and strengthen the abs. I think that was about 45 seconds. I forgot what time I started, but we're going to go into hypers next. So these will be similar to the Supermans, but this time we're going to be just lifting the shoulders off of the ground. So laying like this, hands can be behind you or in front of you, palms facing down preferably. That's gonna help lock those lats in place. And you're just gonna hold, thinking tailbone tucked under, so pressing the hips or pelvis down into the floor, and really focus on keeping the shoulders as high as you can. Head should be neutral, just like this. Shoulders towards those hips. You should feel the back muscles really engage here. What are you doing, buddy? That's Kuma, by the way, if you don't know. Kuma as in Kuma Bartholomew from One Piece. I might be an anime nerd. I think we have about 10 more seconds. Whole time just focusing on keeping the shoulders down, head neutral, hands in as close as you can, or if they're above your head, same idea. Hands up, shoulders down, just like that. The next ones are gonna be side V-ups. Just do what you can. Try to focus on the form the best you're able to, but as long as those abs are contracting, you're doing the exercise. Everything else will come the more you get familiar with the position. I'm gonna lay on the ground, hand that's towards the floor is gonna be on the ground here. Hip is gonna be slightly back. So I'm gonna be at about, what's that, like 160-degree angle. I'm gonna turn my body up towards the ceiling just a bit, so this part of my body is at about a, I guess, 50-ish degree angle to the ceiling. Hand behind my head, and I'm gonna lift my legs up as I lift my elbow towards my knees. So hand's gonna stay down to help me balance. I'm going just like this, and my elbow is gonna be pressing into the ground, just like this. What are you doing, buddy? And as you do this, you're just trying to make sure you're keeping that arm stable and keeping the head as neutral as you can. It's gonna move towards the leg a little bit. You just wanna make sure you're not shrugging or cranking the neck. About 10 more seconds. Again, 20 to 25 each side. And done. So same thing, hand down on the floor. Hips are gonna be kicked back just a little bit. Hand on the head. And then this hand's gonna stay on the floor. And go. And if you see me look behind me, that's me looking at the clock, not, don't crank your neck. Keeping that hand down as the legs come up. Trying to keep my legs as straight as I can. I'm never really getting my shoulders all the way back to the floor and stopping. I'm keeping floated, or keeping contracted at least a little bit. Just breathing as you go. Thinking knees slightly towards the ceiling. Elbow getting to the knee as best as you're able. And breathing. I forget when I started. I think we got like 2 more. 1 for good luck. There you go. Oh, come on. You ate it. You're getting the foam now. Last one is gonna be dead bugs. Now, if I had a yoga ball or a physio ball here, I would prefer to use that because you can push it against it with your elbow and knees. So if you have one, use it. Otherwise, I'm gonna think 90-degree angle in my knees and my arms and pressing the belly into the floor. So if you have a yoga ball, it's gonna go between the knees and the elbows, and you're gonna push in towards each other as you hold. Now this exercise, all I did there was just rounded my back a little bit more to get my belly button towards the floor. That's just gonna make sure my low back doesn't take tension and my abs are doing the work. This is a good one if you have low back pain, because especially pushing that yoga ball in, it'll help strengthen the core to support the back. If you're strong in this position, you can also move opposite arm, opposite leg. You don't have to hold the head up, but you know, these are a bunch of different variations at once, I guess. Just like that. If you ever get tired, pause, holding here. If you need to, you can also do this with your hands by your side, but ideally, keeping everything up just like this. And I believe that's time. Thank you for joining me on another video. If you're looking for some ab or thoracic spine mobility, watch this video right here. Getting those abs stretched out is sometimes the best thing that you can do to help from pains and cramping down the line. So a little bit of mobility here. Thank you for joining. On to the next video.